For those of you who have watched Katie's career develop, over the last few years, you suffered from some muscle issues, like that would plague you. Clearly, by your results, everyone's just amazed. It seems like you put this past, it's past you. What do you think contributed to healing and everything? Is it, or is it just mysteriously gone?
It's funny you ask that, because it's actually never gone. It's something I always constantly deal with, and I've actually been suffering it from the 2 days before the Boulder races. Before I left for Europe, I've been managing it off and on with cramping before the race, after the race, during training. So a lot of it is just kind of sucking it up and trying to perform, and not having good legs, but have to do it anyway. So I've learned to go hard even when I don't feel good, and accept it, and be happy I'm riding my bike and racing my bike, because it could be a lot worse. So I definitely have some moments where I'm pretty pissed off and I hate my body, I hate my legs, but you know, they've been really good to me too. So I try to work around that and keep a positive attitude. And we haven't figured it out, and I don't know if I ever will, but I'm learning how to manage it and try to not let it get to me.
Make note, cyclocrossers, we can't be sucking our thumbs, 45 minutes, take a page out of this person's chapter. That's awesome. So, word has it. All right, let me see by show of hands, who's going to race the Colorado State Cyclocross Championships tomorrow? Woo! All right, big day for a lot of people here. So word has it that there's going to be a death spiral. Meaning the course is very creative. They're doing some interesting things to sort of, someone may have proof of this.
Course man.
Yes. So, cyclocross, as I remember it, this will be my 12th year of racing this sport, and when I started, it was frankly you could call it jungle cross. The courses were invented. We were running over logs. It's just nonsensical, but unbelievably fun. So when I see this courses tomorrow being built and prototypical U.S. courses, they still maintain this aspect of fun. There's still this core element of make people get on and off the bike and have fun. But being in Europe, having had the opportunity to race there, and seeing, we all now have access to YouTube videos, and we get to really dial in and see what the courses are. They're grass crits. They depending upon where you race. So my question is, given the choice, it seems like the UCI or promoters, some of them anyways, want to sterilize the courses and reduce the complex challenges. What do you prefer, given your background? I mean, given the choice, if we can inject as many barriers as we please instead of inset, what's your style of riding? What would you prefer?
I actually prefer the harder the better, and I like I like the combination of having to jump off the bike and do the barriers and do the run-ups and do the sand pits, the mud, the pavement. It's cross. I think it should include everything. Like you can ride a cross bike on something technical as well as power. I think they should keep the sand pits in, even the artificial sand. I know it's an issue now, but some of the courses in Belgium, you need a sand pit to make it more interesting, especially if it's dry. I mean, it's field racing over there, and sometimes they're not kidding. It's you racing through cow pastures, and it's not fun. Like the race in Neal was a cow pasture. Then they just moved the cows just off to the other side of the field because those hoof prints were hard and bumpy, and it was just, I hated the course. It just wasn't fun. But then you have courses like Asper Gavra, which is the same course every year, but it's amazingly fun, and you got to have good skills on the downhill and got to power on the climb. And
Do you
it's
have another example?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's some really good courses, and it depends on what they have to work with. I know there's some of the races that are in the field, there's not a lot to work with, and I think those races would be great for barriers, for the artificial stairs, like the flyovers, the sand pits, that sort of thing, because if it doesn't rain, then it can be a grass crit. So I think lots of switchbacks, tight turns, slow turns, fast accelerations, that sort of thing would be good.
Awesome. So we have you especially, but our premier athletes have a lot going on. We have our national championships in a week. We have our state championships this weekend here, which you'll be participating in. I think you've won 4 times? How many?
State champs?
State champs.
I think I've only won a couple.
I don't know.
I don't have an ACA license,
It's a
so
dynasty.
I've actually never won one.
Oh, yes, exactly. It can't. It doesn't count. No jersey for you!
It's a second. Yeah.
Exactly.
What happened? 1 year, yeah.
We, from there then, we have, in the United States, we have this huge pause between our national championships and our world championships. So, you know, folks in racers, elite racers in the U.S. are always scrambling. They're trying to dial in their training between this time. In Europe, it's entirely different. There's major races, especially Pete Weber is going for Christmas week. You could race every day to keep these guys sharp and peak their training. We, on the other hand, don't have the opportunity to do that, unless, of course, you go overseas. But this year, the World Championships are in Tabor in the Czech Republic. So historically, this has been a great parkour for U.S. racers. TJ, silver medal, I believe, in 2001. I think, who else? Not Walker Ferguson, but Matt White won. Matt Kelly won in also that same year as a junior, I believe. So we have some history there, especially if it looks like it's going to be, you know, snowy and crappy, and which is how it was in 2001. I hope the weather gods shine upon me. But here's my question. Have you ever raced the course before?
In Tabor?
Yes.
No.
You haven't. So my question is, like, what sort of, I didn't think so. I tried to look and see if you'd ever been there or placed there. What do you do as an elite athlete to go and recon something like that? And with respect to this particular course, and what you know about it and who you've asked, do you think it favors you?
That's tough because I'm actually not going to see the course till we get there, probably a few days before. I've checked out the computer imaging of it, so I have an idea and like the course description. Talking to Katarina, she pre-ordered the course, I think, the Tuesday after the May World Cup. And like she just said, that area is, you know, elevation change, off camber, could be muddy, could be, you know, snowy, frozen. It just depends on kind of the weather there, but it sounds like it's going to be a pretty technical course regardless of the weather. That and Steve R, he's mentioned in his interviews that it's going to be a technical hard course regardless of the weather. So I'm hoping it'll be good for me and I can have a good race there.
Obviously,
Greg, a follow-up. So it could be really snowy there. I mean, it's much further inland. Do you like snowy, icy, or would you prefer something other than that?
I would like the snow, mostly because I can train in it, whereas people in Holland and Belgium, Germany, not so much. They get rain and mud and frozen, but they don't get a lot of snow. And it's a different set of skills riding the snow than it is the mud. So I'm really happy with cold and snowy.